Hi guys, and welcome back to Fat Boys RC. How's it going out there in the real world? Before we get started, as usual, like and subscribe to my video, please. Right, anyway, as you can see, we've got the VEENIIX V11PRO drone, as from before the video. Now, it's a good spec little drone. It's got decent motors, brushless motors in it. It's got great sort of power. It's got good wind stability. Now, I took this one out. We took it up to our local racetrack, flew it up in the air. We filmed it with some other drones so you can actually see the stability of the thing in the air. It is very stable to fly. It was a gusty day. We got level 5 wind protection, so it was really stable, and the 3-axis gimbal in the camera was keeping the shot nice and accurate. Then we took it down to the coast and filmed from above. You'll see some good pictures around the beach area, and then especially when I zoom down onto the rocks from about 50 meters up, you'll see that the camera is spectacular. It's got bright colours, it picks up every single detail. We then zoom in on Reculver Castle. It's actually Reculver Church. We're filming out from about 100 metres and we zoom right in so you can actually see the zoom on the camera. It's very, very good. I did especially like the features of the one-touch takeoff and the one-touch landing, which is great. It's always a bit of a problem when you get a drone. You get a cheap drone, it hasn't got that. Sometimes you end up crashing it into the floor, and I speak from experience. But with that kind of setting, it's quite simple. That being said, the new drones, as soon as you bring them down level and touch them on the ground, the engine's cut out because the sensors underneath actually sense that it's got down to ground level. Now, to get started on the VEENIIX V11PRO, there are a couple of things you've got to do. First thing you've got to do is connect your phone to the controller. So there's a cable that comes with the controller. It actually comes with the USB-C, the Lightning for the Apple, and a micro USB. Plug that into your port on the bottom of your phone, and your phone will actually start the app. So to start the controller off, it's one quick press, and then another press that powers the controller on. Now the controller will actually start to look for the drone. You can hear that beeping. Well, that beeping is actually looking for the drone, but the drone obviously isn't going to answer because it's not on. On top of the drone, there's a power button. Hold the power. If you press the power button, it'll tell you how much power you got in the battery. This battery is pretty flat. You hold the power button down, and it will actually start the drone. Now, the controller is starting to go through the process. Because I started the drone and the controller, it brought the app up. Okay. Now those lights are flashing red, which you can see on the camera. Did you hear the different beep then? The different beep is the camera connecting to the drone. Now, when you default on, you'll see on the screen below it says GPS mode. Now that is looking for a GP, so a global positioning signal, before it will actually allow you to fly the drone. So if we go into the controls, and another great feature on the VEENIIX Fly app, when you first start off, if you go into the controls, it actually starts a tutorial video for you.
Choose an open, obstacle-free area. Long press to power on. Battery level display. Upon hearing a beep and seeing flashing lights, drone is on. During the linking process, the drone status indicator light flashes red.
Right, so I'll turn that off. So that's gone into GPS mode.
GPS mode.
Right, so now that's in GPS mode, it's bringing up some elements on the screen. It's telling you it wants to calibrate, so it wants you to spin the drone. So you spin the drone, then it tells you that it wants you to put the drone vertical and spin it. After you've got that beep, you can put the drone down flat, and your drone is ready to fly. Now, because it's in GPS mode, as you can see, it's displaying through its camera. If you put it in GPS mode, you go into this setting here, which is the one-touch takeoff. If you slide that to start the rotors, it refuses. It's picked up that it's indoors, and it will not start the rotors if it's picked up that it's indoors. Okay, you have to manually tell it that you want it to go into a different mode. So you hold down the speed button.
Attitude mode.
Did you hear it say attitude mode? Now that is actually unlocked, and you can fly that indoors because it's not looking for the GPS signal. So if you then press that, do the slide, the motors will start. You can then use the one-touch takeoff. There it goes. If you now go in there and slide it again, it'll land. As you can see from that, it's not really suitable for flying in a small confined space, but it does work internally. I used this at our radio control car track the other day to film some of the cars going around the track. Now, it's quite a rudimentary system, it's quite a basic app, but it's very easy. The actual drone is very, very easy to fly. Straight up, straight down, left, right, forward, backwards. It's got enough power to go up and down. It's not going to set the world on fire. It's not the fastest drone on the planet, but it's very, very stable in the air. So if we look at some features we've got on the app, there's a few there. You follow your settings. You've got image follow. That's where it actually targets onto an image and it will follow. But on the screen at the moment, I've got like a little red square that might follow that. You've got GPS follow. You can set it to follow the GPS. So the phone's emitting the GPS signal, it will follow the phone. Interest point. Now, the interest point is another little feature it's got where you can actually target a point and it will follow round the point. There's also gesture photo and gesture record, which I haven't played with yet, but you set up. But one of my favourite features is the route plot. You can actually plot a route. So you can actually tell it to plot different points and film as it goes, which is quite a nice little feature. Another thing on this drone is the capability to control the camera using the wheels on the back of the controller. Okay, you can actually set it up. I'll just get rid of that. So as I use the rollers on the back, you see that on the screen? Actually changing the angle of the camera. As you can see on the front of the drone, it's moving. Okay, you've also got the zoom wheel. Now you might notice that as I'm doing it, I'm clicking it one like that. It's got a 5x zoom on the zoom wheel. Now what I've found is if I use the controller here to zoom, I actually get a much better and smoother zoom. Can you see this? So I'm zooming using the slider on the screen, and I actually think that's a little bit better than the actual wheel. So if you want to smooth the zoom, so say you want to go too slowly, better off using that. You've also got control over the angle using the app. Oh, let me get that up. Boof. And you've got so it's not the most comprehensive app in the world, but it works very, very fine. You've also got buttons down here. You've got your speed on there. You press that, it goes into sport mode, GPS mode, camera mode, or normal mode. You've got the take a photo. Now, if you press take a photo, it makes a loud camera noise, but it does actually take a few seconds to take the photograph. You've also got start and stop video button. So if you press that, it will start recording. You get that audible beep. Press that, it will start recording. Okay. And then you've got the little positioning one there. If you press that, it will go home. So if your drone is up in the air and you're losing control or you can't see it or whatever, you should always have your drone in line of sight. You press that button and it will return to you. So it's quite a nice little setup. So you've got the VEENIIX Fly app. Now I did have a couple of issues with the VEENIIX Fly app where I was losing the camera, which I think was something to do with my phone, because I switched over to the VEENIIX Pro app and I had no problems whatsoever. So if you do experience any issues like that, you can always change the VEENIIX Pro app. Now, if you watch now, you're going to see the footage of the drone You can see it flying. You can see it from the outside. You're also going to see some of the shots I've taken while it's been up in the air. And obviously, this is to show you. Now, this drone is a very good quality drone. Now, a lot of your pro drones cost thousands. So you've got to remember what you're comparing it to. This is a good quality camera drone with a nice bit of weight for it. It's a good step between a small Mavic type mini drone to a pro drone. It's kind of in the middle of that point. It's on your first level of pro. You get a good camera, good flying capabilities, some good features, but it is by no means £3,000 worth of drone. It is a very good bargain price. I think listed online at about $550. If you use the link below, you can get $60 off of it. Okay, so anyway, watch the footage of the drone, see what you think.